How's it going, guys? This is Justin from the Tree of Woe show with the August 31st, 2012 Smackdown review. Now, this is probably going to get posted definitely before the show is over, but maybe before it starts some places. But 6 o'clock my time, I'm going to be watching football, so I said, hey, I'll just watch it on YouTube, film the review, and just put it up some point during the day. So here it is. The show starts off with your boy, everybody's boy, Sheamus. He comes out, and before anything, he's like, listen, I gotta give a shout out to one of the toughest guys I ever fought. The Game Triple H. And I said, oh no, is this gonna be what SmackDown's about? Revolved around Triple H? And for a while, yes. But Sheamus is interrupted by Damien Sandow, who's like, you're talking so reverently about this guy who came out with a bunch of idiots and beat me up. Degeneration X on 1000th Raw. But I like seeing Damien Sandow interrupting Sheamus. It made Sandow feel more important than, beating even Brodus Clay. I mean, it's freaking the world champion. And he's going out there interrupting him like, hey, I'm Damien Sandow. And Sheamus like, well, then come in the ring and we'll fight. And Sandow said, no, it's fine. And then Booker T comes out and says, listen, we gonna have a match tonight. So he announces that because the people want to see a physical thrashing, because Damien Sandow says he was saving Sheamus from an intellectual thrashing. But first match of the night in a WrestleMania 27 rematch, which has been a theme this week, we got Cody Rhodes versus Rey Mysterio. Now, unlike WrestleMania, I didn't like this match because Rey Mysterio won and not Cody Rhodes. I don't like Rey Mysterio. I love Cody Rhodes. But Rey gets the win. Cody starts attacking Rey Mysterio after, trying to rip his mask off, which brings out Sin Cara for the save. Sin Cara, sets up the 619. Rey hits the 619, and then Sin Cara whips out a extra Sin Cara mask and puts it over the face of Cody Rhodes. And that's how that segment ends. So I guess, they are doing something with those two, but I just don't know where it's going to head. Then you get Caitlyn versus Natalya. Eve is on commentary. You knew Caitlyn was going to win this match. She's the number one contender. She did win it, and they announced. Well, I guess I don't know if we knew, but Caitlyn wins, and then it's for sure announced that she'll face Layla at Night of Champions. Then you got Booker backstage getting asked about AJ or whatever, and he's like, "Listen, that girl off her rocker." And then Vicky storms in like, "I agree. Oh, she's crazy. Her reign will come to an end." So apparently we're seeing a Vicky versus AJ feud. And then we get our first Raw recap of the night. There was a lot of Raw on SmackDown, but we get the CM Punk, Jerry Lawler, John Cena interaction. They ran through that. You already know what happened. I know what happened. And then the 1 hour main event is branching off of the opening segment, Sheamus versus Damien Sandow. They, during the actual match, they didn't make Damien Sandow look completely overwhelmed by Sheamus. It wasn't 5 minutes, boom, it's over. They made him look like he's sticking with him, all the good stuff. And then towards the end, you might say that, they made Damien Sandow look weak because he rolls out of the ring and runs up the ramp, gets counted out and lost. And you could very well say that. I look at it as Damien Sandow, being the intellectual man he is, knew the the bookers were going to book back and forth, bro kick 1, 2, 3. Damien Sandow said, I've seen this show before. I'm good buddies with Triple H. Triple H tells me how these things go. If you're going to get jobbed out, you run away. So he said, not today, not getting buried today. Roll out of the ring and sprinted into the back. So Sheamus wins by count out. But I don't think it made him look, weak. I think it made Sandow look like a genius, because we all know how Sheamus matches end. Damien Sandow, genius. Then we got a tag match. Tyson Kidd, a guy that Jake really likes, and Justin Gabriel, a guy I really like, versus Primetime Players, a couple of guys we all like. But, tag team matches, the Usos had a little tout in the middle of it. We are the tag team champs. We should be the tag team champs. And the other Usos like, I agree with you. That's literally what happened. I was like, oh my gosh, why are people talking? But primetime players end up getting the win here, so I was pumped about it. Darren Young said, Cacao! Uno dos tres gets the W. So, I'm hearing that it's going to be like a lot of multi-tag teams, some sort of match at Night of Champions. So we'll have to see if they stay true to that or some other stuff's going to happen in between. But not a bad match. Good to see Gabriel and Kidd getting on TV. They're another one of the tag teams in the division that could do good things if they were allowed to. Another thing that we saw from Raw on this was they replayed all three of the anger management with Daniel Bryan and Kane, the videos. But those are still funny, so I was cool with those. That was like one of the only good things that happened on Raw, so if we're going to show stuff, might as well, and I was cool with it, because like I said, they were still hilarious. And then we get Josh Matthews interviewing Alberto Del Rio, and he's talking about beating Randy Orton, and Del Rio said, hey, I made him tap out, not just beat him. I made him tap out, and then they show the video clip of last week where Orton tapping out and Del Rio is just so much money. But then they keep talking back and forth, and Josh Matthews talking about, you've never beat Sheamus though, so are you worried? And then Del Rio's like, remember when Kane threw you over a barricade? Well, I'm going to do worse than that. He rips off his thing and gets all tough guy. But then Kane's music hits, and Kane runs out there, and he gets the mic, and he apologizes. He's like, due to my anger management, they asked me to come out here and apologize. So, Josh Matthews, I'm sorry for throwing you over a barricade at SummerSlam. So that was funny. But before the segment could end, we get Teddy Long coming out, because he's part-time general manager. Booker T's not, I'm not trying to make that walk again, Teddy. Go out there. And he says, listen, Del Rio, you're going to face Kane right now. And then, so we got Kane versus Del Rio. Del Rio is the number one contender for the world title, and Kane's kind of floating around, feud with Daniel Bryan, mid-card sort of title. So you knew you thought Del Rio was going to get the win here, and he did. Gets the pinfall on Kane. After the match, Kane gets all upset, freaks out, and attacks Josh Matthews again. And I thought it was hilarious. I'm sorry, Josh. I'm losing my temper. And he's just beating the crap out of him. And then he choke slams him. Segment ends with a choke slam, and Kane making fire come from everywhere. So I don't know where they're going somewhere with Kane and this Josh Matthews thing, but we'll have to see what's going on here. Or maybe he's just a little pawn in the anger management thing. But I think it'd be hilarious. Because Josh Matthews can wrestle. He can. High flying Josh Matthews. But yeah, that's the end of that segment. And then, the moment we all were waiting for, simply because we all knew it was going to happen. Raw recap, Triple H segment. Ugh. Again, we said it on the Raw review. We would be much more respectful to this if he was not coming back. But we know he's coming back. They're already talking about WrestleMania 29 now. Triple H versus Brock Lesnar, the rematch. Why? I'm not against the rematch, but why at WrestleMania? No one's trying to see Triple H beat Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. No one cares. Oh, that pissed me off. And you know me, I don't get pissed off about stuff. But when I read, rematch, perhaps scheduled for WrestleMania 29, I said, you have got to be kidding me. Oh, just do it at Hell in a Cell. Let Triple H get his win so he can feel good about himself. Not WrestleMania. No. Put Brock against Taker or The Rock. Somebody, not Triple H. Oh, my goodness. But, so that they got that recap. And then we got the main event of the night. Two guys in my Fave 5, Randall Keith Orton and Dolph Ziggler. I love when these guys have matches. They've had a bunch, on Raw. Never at a pay-per-view. Never. I don't think unless I completely forgot, but I don't think they've ever been one-on-one at a pay-per-view. But another good match, Of course, I'm gonna love it. These guys are my boys. These are like numbers 2 and 3 in the Fave 5. But come on now. But like I said, good match. Ziggler's selling everything. Vicky's freaking out back. Orton's, rage pissed off mode because he tapped last week. He got beat. Like I said, good match. And, the saying, all good things come to a RKO. Randy Orton wins. Dolph Ziggler clean. Uno dos tres. He is my boy. So I'm down with it. I'm interested to see, because after the match, before Lillian could announce Orton as the winner, Vicky grabs the mic and says, and still, your Money in the Bank winner, Dolph Ziggler. And then she's looking at Orton like, you can't have this. This is ours. This is ours. So maybe at Night of Champions, Randy Orton versus Dolph Ziggler for the Money in the Bank briefcase. And maybe because Orton scheduled who is texting me? And maybe because Orton is, going to film the movie, Dolph Ziggler can pick up a victory over Chris Jericho for the briefcase and Randy Orton for the briefcase. Talk about getting yourself some credibility. I'm down to see Dolph Ziggler beat Randy Orton clean at Night of Champions. Or even, not even have to be clean. I mean, not many people get to beat Orton clean. Del Rio, you be proud. But, it'd be good to see Ziggler get a win over another big guy. I mean, Jericho and Orton, that's nothing to, beating those two, that's a big deal. So we'll have to see where that goes. Smackdown was all right. There was a lot of, like big time feel matches. Like Cody versus Ray was a kind of a big time feel match. It's obviously a WrestleMania 27 rematch. Sheamus versus Sandow was a cool match to see. Those two. Kane and Del Rio are two pretty big names, and then Orton Ziggler. So I can't complain about SmackDown. I thought it was pretty good, even though it was, dedicated to the loving memory of Triple H, but whatever. That's fine. So that is the review. Subscribe above, like this video, comment down below. Monday, like I said, Jake will do the Raw review solo, but before Raw, leading up to 6 o'clock, when I will be watching the Virginia Tech Hokies. That's why I can't do the review, sorry. That's why we have two members of the Trio Woe Show, because Jake will take over. But I don't know what Jake's doing, but I for sure will be on the Google Plus thing from 5 to 6 or 5:30 to 6, leading up to Raw / the football game I'm watching. So make sure to check out that live stream, just like we did last Monday. But that is all for now. Talk to you later.